Hello everyone, welcome to Tkinter Hub. And welcome to Student Management and Registration Project. In the previous video, we had created Student Dashboard Homepage and Student Card Page Interface and Functionalities. And in this video, we will create these Student Dashboard pages and all functionalities, which will help the student to manage their account. And in this video, we will finalize Student Dashboard. Means in this video we will complete work with Student Dashboard. This video is not a last part of this project. After completing this video, from the next video, we will start work with Admin Dashboard. Now in this video, we have to create these pages interface and functionalities. So we will start from creating security page interface and functionalities. So let's start this video. Here is Student Dashboard function. In the previous video, we had completed work with Dashboard Home Page and Student Card Page. Now we don't need to touch the code of Home Page and Student Card Page. So here I will collapse the code of Home Page and Student Card Page function. If you want to collapse your code in PyCharm editor, simply you need to select your code which you want to collapse, and then simply press Ctrl and dot button. And I want to remind to you, that previously I have uploaded a video, about fix a issue from Student Dashboard. If you have not watched the video, link available in description box. Now let's start work with security page. Here I am creating a label. Here I am creating an entry box. In the Tkinter entry box, the show attribute will specify a character that will be displayed in place of the actual text. Now we will create Show and Hide Password button, which will show and hide student current password. For create Show and Hide Password button and functionality, I will just copy and paste the code stuff from student login page, because we had already created this thing in student login page. Here is student login page function. First here I will copy the code of Show and Hide Password function, and I will paste the code of this function in security page function. Now let's copy the code of Show and Hide Password button. Here I will put Show and Hide Password button in security page frame, and also here I will change X and Y position of button. And here I will set up Show and Hide Password function, for student current password entry box. Now let's test Show and Hide Password functionality is working or not. Here you can see, I can show and hide text content from entry box. Now let's see how we will fetch and display logged in student account current password. For fetch logged in student account password, we will use fetch student data function, which we had created and used in previous video. Here I will write SQL query, which will fetch logged in student account password from database. Using logged in student ID number, we will fetch student account password from database. Be carefully, we need to pass logged in student ID number between the signal quotation marks. Now let's print the fetched response of query. Here you can see, logged in student account password printed. Now let's display logged in student account password in student current password entry box. Here I will insert logged in student password in student current password entry box. After inserting password in entry box, we will set entry box state read only. In the read only state, entry box will allow only to read or copy text content from entry box. In the read only state, entry box will not allow to write or delete text content from entry box. Here you can see, logged in student password is inserted in entry box, and also we can show and hide student password in entry box. Now let's create other stuff of security page. Here I am creating a label. Here I am creating another label. Here I am creating a entry box. Here I am creating a button. Now we will create a functionality, which will change student account password. Simply here student will enter their account new password. And then student will press set password button. And if the student will press set password button, then we will ask confirmation to student for change their account password. Let's start to create this functionality. Here I am creating a function, which will change student account password. Here in the set password function, here we will check a condition. In the if condition, here we will check if the new password entry box is not equal to empty. If the new password entry box will not equal to empty, then we will start process of change student account password. Here in the else condition, if this condition will false, then means the new password entry box is empty. Then in the else condition, we will display a message that enter a new password required. Let's add this function to set password button. Now let's if I click set password button, without entering new password in entry box. Here you can see, message box displayed, if the student press set password button without entering new password in entry box. Now if the student will enter a password, and student will press set password button, then we will ask confirmation to student, for make sure student want to change password. Here this if condition will true, then we will ask confirmation to student. If the student will press yes button in confirmation box, then confirmation box function will return true value. And in the cancel button, confirmation box function will return false value. Here I will print confirmation box function returned value. Here you can see, confirmation box appear. Now let's if I click yes button. Here you can see, true value returned. Now let's if I click cancel button. Now false value returned. Here I will check another if condition. If the confirmation box will return true value, means student pressed yes button. Then we will start process of change student account password. Here I have paste some code which will establish connection with database, for execute queries. When student confirmation will yes, then here we will change student account password. Here we will execute a query, which will change student account password from database. For change student account password, Here we will update table data. And we will set password column value, which is student entered new password. Here we will write a condition, which will set student account password, where ID number will equals to logged in student ID number. Here I will add this query in multiline string, for simplify this query. So this query will change logged in student account password, by targeting logged in student ID number. After changing student account password, we will display message box, that password changed successfully. Here you can see, the student account current password is this. Let's change student account password. Here you can see, message box displayed, that password changed successfully. Now let's verify, that student account password is changed from database or not. There is two ways that we can verify password is changed from database or not. The first way is, if I will switch home page, and then if I will switch again security page, then the security page will reload again. When security page will reload again, then the student account password will fetch again from database, for display in student current password entry box, then we can see password changes from database. Home page switched. Let's switch security page again. Here you can see, password is changed. Old password was this, and new password is this. The second way is, for verify that student account password is changed, that we need to log in student account, with old password which we was changed, that will confirm password is changed. But before I want to show you something, let's if I change password again. Here you can see, password changed successfully, but after changing password, we need to update student current password entry box, because here still showing old password. And also we need to clear new password entry box, after changing password. Here after changing password from database, here we will set new password in student current password entry box. First here we will set current password entry box state normal, because we had set before current password entry box state read only, which protects write and delete text content from entry box. First here we will delete old password from current password entry box. And then we will insert new password in current password entry box. Here we have insert new password in current password entry box, and now we will set again current password entry box state read only. And here in the last we will clear text from new password entry box, after changing password. Now let's change password again. Here you can see, password is changed, and student current password updated, and also new password entry box is cleared. Now we will verify through login page, that password is changed or not. First I will note down, the logged in student ID number and password. Now let's note down password. Here I have note down student ID number and password. Let's log in student account through login page. If I will click login button, then definitely student dashboard will open. Now if I will change student account password, and then if I will try to log in student account, using old password. Here you can see, password is changed. Now new password is this. Now let's if I try to log in student account using old password, which we were changed. Here you can see, now old password is not valid. That's mean the student account password is successfully changed from database. Now let's try to log in student account, using new password, which we were set. Here you can see, now we can access student dashboard. We have completed work with security page, now we will start work with edit data page. Now we will start to create edit data page, where student can edit or update their account data. For create these input fields in edit data page, we will just copy and paste the code from add account page. Because we had created these things already in add account page. Let's start to create. Now I will use a PyCharm functionality, which will help us to copy and paste the code from add account page to dashboard edit data page. Here I will click to structure menu. Basically in the structure menu, you will see your code structure. Here you can easily reach to your code any function or variable. Here you can see, our project code all functions and variables are listed here. By clicking to any function or variable name from structure menu, I can easily reach to any function or variable. Let's if I click to add account page function. Here you can see, I easily reached to add account page function. Now let's copy the code of add student picture button, for add in edit data page. By clicking to student dashboard function name from structure menu, I can easily reach to edit data page function. Here is edit data page function. Here I will paste the code of add student picture button. Here I will make a small change in Add Student Picture button frame. We will put this frame in Edit Data Page frame. And also we need to copy OpenPick function from Add Account Page function. This function will open student picture, and it will store open picture path, and also it will display picture and add picture button. Frame X and Y positions and width and height are perfect for edit data page, we don't need to change. Here you can see, add student picture button added, let's test it. Here you can see, student picture added. Now let's copy the code of student name input field, for add in edit data page. And also we need to copy remove highlight warning function from add account page function. Now let's copy the code of student age input field. Now we need to justify the position of student age input field. Now let's copy and add other input fields. And don't be confused about this class list variable. This is a global list variable, which we had created when we were creating @account page. So we can access this variable in any function. Now let's copy the code of student email input field. Also, we need to justify position of this email input field. We have created all input fields, where student can edit their details. Now we will create update button. Now I will make a changes in these labels text. Now we will insert logged in student details in these entry boxes. When the student will switch edit data page, then the student details will have pre-inserted in entry boxes, and also logged in student picture will have pre-loaded. Here we have logged in student details, which we are fetching from database using logged in student ID number. And here we are fetching student all details, which we want for insert in edit data page input fields. And also here is logged in student picture binary data. Now let's see how we will display logged in student details in edit data page. First we will add logged in student picture, in add student picture button. Here is Add Student Picture button. And here a template picture is added in Add Student Picture button. Now we will add logged in student picture in Add Student Picture button. This variable is a bytes.io object. In the bytes.io object we had stored logged in student picture binary data. So we will convert logged in student picture binary data into tk image object, for display and add student picture button. Now let's add this image tk object to add student picture button. And also we need to set button internal image variable value to image object. This how? You can watch dedicated video why image not showing. If the image config to button in a function, video link available in description box. But here this logged in student picture was not added. That is the reason that here template picture is showing in the place of student picture. That similarly here in the edit data page, template picture will show at the place of logged in student picture. So now we will open student dashboard of a other student account, in which student account we were added a student picture. Here I will enter another student ID number. Here you can see, this student account have added a picture. Let's see in the edit data page. Here you can see, logged in student picture is added in add student picture button. Now let's insert the student details in these entry boxes. First we will insert logged in student name, in student name entry box. This variable have stored student details in the list of tuple, which has returned from this function. Basically here we are executing a query using this function, which will fetch logged in student details from database. The logged in student details will return from this function, in list of tuple format. By slicing the list of tuple, we will get logged in student details, and we will insert details in related entry box. First we will break list from tuple, and then we will slice student name from tuple. The first item list of tuple is student name. Here you can see, logged in student name inserted in student name entry box. Now let's insert student other details in related detail entry box. Now we will insert student age detail, in student age entry box. The second item of list of tuple is student age detail. Here you can see in the query, the student age column is selected at the second position. Here I will slice list item by index 1, which is second item of list. And also we will insert student contact number detail, in student contact number entry box. Logged in student contact number detail is at the fourth index of list. Here is something went wrong. Let's see what's happened. Here mistakenly I insert student contact number in student age entry box. Instead I need to insert contact number in contact number entry box, which is related entry box. Here you can see, now detail inserted in detail related entry box. Now let's insert other details. And here is combo box for select student class. So we will set student class detail to combo box. Logged in student class detail is at the index 3 of list. Here you can see, student class selected in combo box. Now let's insert this last one detail. Now we will insert student email address in student email address entry box. Logged in student email address detail is the last item of list, so we can get the item by index -1. Here you can see, logged in student email address inserted in entry box. Now we will create a functionality, which will update student data. For example, if student want to change their picture, and student want to change their name or other details. After changes in details, student will click update button, then we will update student data from database according to student changes. And also I want to tell you, that in case if the student leave any entry box empty, and then if the student try to update data, then we will highlight empty entry box, and also we will display message box for display warning. So first we will check input details, and then after we will create update student data functionality. Now we will create a function, which will check each of entry box input details. In the check inputs function, we will check each of entry box from edit data page. First here we will check student name entry box is empty. If the student name entry box will equals to empty, then we will highlight student name entry box. For highlight a entry box, as showing in the picture, we will just use two attributes of Tkinter entry box. By setting these two attributes value red, then the entry box will highlight in red color. We have done this already in Create Account page, to highlight entry boxes, I hope you remember. And also we will set cursor focus to highlighted entry box. And also we will display message box, for display warning. Let's add this function to update button. When student will click update button, then this function will execute. Now let's test this function. If I will leave this entry box empty, and then if I will click update button. Here you can see, message box appear that student full name is required. And also empty entry box highlighted. After entering something in entry box will normal. If you want to know how highlighted entry box become normal after entering something, then you need to watch maybe part 4 or 5 when we were creating Create Account page. Now similarly we will check for other entry boxes is empty. Here we will check condition for student age entry box. Here we will check condition for student contact number entry box. And also here we will check condition for student email address entry box. We have checked conditions for all entry boxes. Now we will check another condition for student email address entry box, in case student mistakenly enter email address in invalid format, and suppose if the student updated their email address in invalid format, then the student will not able to use some features of our project. Because the student email address have a most important role in our project, via email address student can recover their account password, and also via email address student will receive announcement messages. So we will verify student entered email address, and then we will update student data from database. We have already created a function, which can verify student email address format. You may remember that also we are verifying student email address format in create account page, when a student create an account. So we will use this function for verify student email address format. Basically this function takes a email address in argument, and then it will check given email address, and then it will return true or false value, which will determine given email address format is valid or invalid. If this function will return false value, then means the given email address is in invalid format. Here I will pass student entered email address in email argument, and also here we will convert email address in lowercase letters. Lower method will convert student entered email address in lowercase letters. When verify email function will return false value, then here we will highlight student email address entry box. And also we will display warning in message box. Let's if I edit this email address in invalid format. Here you can see, email address considered invalid. We have created verify email address functionality. Now we will create update student data functionality, which will update student data from database. Here after checking these all conditions, if these all conditions will false, which means the all entry boxes are not empty, and student entered email address is correct. Then here in the else condition, we will start process of updating student data from database. When these all conditions will false, then this else condition will execute. Here we will start process of updating student data from database. So we will start from updating student picture. First here we will check a condition. This pic path variable is a Tkinter string var, which can store string data. In the pic path variable we are storing student picture path from openPic function. Basically when student will click add student picture button, for add new picture, then the openPic function will execute. Then openPic function will ask for open new picture, and if the new picture will open, then this function will store new picture path in the pic path variable, and also it will display new picture in add student picture button. Here we will check condition, if the pic path variable is not equals to empty, which means the student open a new picture. Here you can see, the pic path variable initially value is empty. So if the student will open new picture, then the new picture path will have added in pic path variable, then this condition will true. If this condition will true, then we will update student picture from database. Here I am getting prepare student new picture for add in database. Basically here I will open student new picture, using pillow image class. Using pillow image class we will resize student new picture in 100 by 100 size, because student added new picture size can be large, and 100 by 100 size is enough size for display student picture in our project. And here I will save resized student picture. This resized student picture will save in my current working directory, with this file name. Now let's test this function. Here I will add a new picture. If I click update button. Now let's see this new picture is saved. Here is my current working directory, where is the project Python file stored. Here you can see, new picture is resized and saved. Now we will get binary data of this resized student new picture, for add in database. Simply here we will open this resized student new picture, for read binary data. So we will open this resized picture, in RB mode which is, read binary mode. In this variable we will store resized student new picture binary data. Basically here we are resizing and saving student new picture. And here we are getting binary data of resized and saved student new picture. Now we will update student picture from database. Here I have paste this code which will establish connection with database for execute queries. Here we will execute a query which will update student picture from database. Image is a database column, where is stored all students' picture. This question mark is a placeholder, which will represent picture binary data, because here in the query we can't directly pass binary of picture, so we will pass picture binary data in a separate argument, and this question mark will consider place of binary data. Here we will write a condition, which will update logged in student picture, by targeting ID number. Now let's pass student new picture binary data, in the value of placeholder. Here we will pass the value of placeholder. In the list form we will pass picture binary data. This binary data will represent in the place of this question mark. After updating student picture, we will display message box, that data successfully updated. Now let's test this function. Now let's add a new picture. Here you can see, here picture added. Now let's if I click update button. Here you can see, message box appear, that data successfully updated. Now I want to show you something. Let's if I switch home page. Here you can see, here still old picture is showing. Now if I will close this program, and then if I will run it again. Now you can see, new picture is showing, which we were updated. For now forget about this problem, why student picture changes is not showing. At the runtime of program, we will discuss about this problem, and also we will solve this problem in this video. Now we will create functionality. For update these student details, simply student can edit and update these details, by clicking update button. Here we are checking condition if the pick path variable is not equals to empty, which means student open a new picture for update. Then here we have updated student picture from database. Now let's update student details from database. Here we will update student details. Notice student details we will update, from out of this if condition. This if condition we have used only for check if the student added a new picture, then we have updated student picture from database. Now I will collect student details from these entry boxes, and I will put details in variables. Here I have added student details in variables. Now I will establish connection with database, for update these details in database. And I am repeating again, that this code is not part of this if condition. Here I have paste this code which will establish connection with database for execute queries. Here I will write a query which will update student details from database. Here we will set these database column values, for update student details. Now here we will write a condition, which will update logged in student details, by targeting ID number. After updating student picture and details, we will display message box that data successfully updated. So here we have updated student picture, and here we have updated student details. Let's test this function. Now let's if I edit and update student details. Here you can see, message box appear, that data successfully updated. But here in the home page, update changes is not showing. If I will run this program again, then here you can see, now changes is showing. Now we will discuss about this problem, and also we will solve this problem. Let's discuss about this problem. Basically when we open the student dashboard, then once only we are fetching and storing logged in student data from database, for display student data in dashboard. So when we update the student details, then the student details is changing only in database. But the student details are not changing at the runtime of this program. Because we are fetching and storing logged in student data, when student dashboard begins start. So that is the reason, when we run again this program, then the update changes is showing. Because when we run the program again, then the logged in student data is again fetch and store, so that second time changes are including. Now let's talk about what is the solution of this problem. The simple solution of this problem is, when we will update student data, then we will again fetch and store student details from database, then the update changes will show at the runtime of this program. Let's solve this problem. Here is student dashboard function. And here we are fetching and storing logged in student data from database. In these variables we are storing student data. Basically these variables are local variables in the student dashboard function. Means these variables are only accessible in student dashboard function. When the student details will update, then we will redeclare these variables for store student updated data. So we will redeclare these variables in edit data page function, where we update student details. And the edit data page function is an inner function of student dashboard function. And these variables are from outer scope of the edit data page function, so we cannot directly redeclare these variables inside in edit data page function. For redeclare the variables, we will need to use Python nonlocal keyword. The Python nonlocal keyword is used to work with variables inside nested functions, where the variable should not belong to the inner function. Now let's see how we will use Python nonlocal keyword, for declare outer scope variables, from inner function. Here in the check inputs function, we will use nonlocal keyword, for redeclare student data variables, because in the check inputs function we are updating student data. Here within non-local keyword, we need to mention variable's name, which variables we want to redeclare in the check inputs function. So we will redeclare these variables. Here I have paste these variables name within non-local keyword. Now we can redeclare these variables. The non-local keyword will tell to Python interpreter that these variables are not local variables for the check inputs function. Now let's see how we will restore student updated data in these variables. Here I will copy this code, and I will paste this code in check inputs function for restore student updated data in student data variables. Here after updating student data, here we will restore student data variables. Here logged in student data will fetch and store again in these variables. When this variable will redeclare, then this fetch student data function will execute, and this function will return fetched data of this query. Then here student update changes will include. Basically here we have reassigned these variables values. Now let's test that student update changes will show at the runtime of this program. Let's update logged in student picture and details. Here you can see, student data updated successfully. Now let's if I switch home page. Now you can see, student data update changes is showing at the runtime of this program. Let's see a example again. You can see, now student data update changes is showing at the runtime of this program. We have completed edit data page, and we have created all functionalities of edit data page. Now we will create delete account page, where student can delete their account. And also we will create logout account functionality. When student will click logout button, after confirmation the student will redirected to welcome page. Let's start from creating delete account page. We have complete work with edit data page, so we don't need to touch the code of this function. Here I will collapse the code of this function. Now let's start to work with delete account page. Here I am creating a label. Here I am creating a button. Now we will create delete student account functionality. Basically when student will click delete account button, then we will ask confirmation to student. And if the student will press yes button in the confirmation box, then we will delete student account from database. After deleting student account, the student will redirect to welcome page. Let's create function. In the function, first we will display confirmation box to student for ask confirmation. Here we will check if condition, if the confirmation box function will return true value, which means student pressed yes button in confirmation box. Then we will establish connection with database for execute query, which will delete student account from database. Here we will execute query which will delete student all details from database. This query will delete student overall details from database, by targeting ID number. After deleting student all details from database, we will destroy student dashboard frame, and then we will switch welcome page. Here student dashboard will destroy and then here welcome page will display. And also here I will update root window, because sometime root window may not show changes. And also we will display message box to student, that account successfully deleted. Now we will add this function to delete account button. Now let's test delete account functionality. Before deleting this student account, I will note down this logged in student account ID number and password. Because after deleting student account, we will verify that student account successfully deleted, by trying to log in deleted student account. Here I will note down this logged in student account ID number. And I will copy this logged in student account password. Now let's delete this student account. Let's if I click delete account button. Here you can see, confirmation box appear. Here I will click yes button. Here you can see, message box appear, that account successfully deleted, and also we have redirected to welcome page. Now let's if I try to log in deleted student account. Here you can see, deleted account ID number is now invalid, that means student account successfully deleted from database. Now I will log in another student account. Here I have paste another student account ID number and password, let's log in this account. Almost we have finished student dashboard, and we have complete delete account page, and now we will create logout account functionality. Basically when student will click logout account button, then we will display confirmation box to student for ask confirmation. If the student will press yes button in the confirmation box, then student will redirect to welcome page. Let's create function. Here we will create logout function. In the function, first we will display confirmation box to student for ask confirmation. Here we will check if condition, if the confirmation box function will return true value, which means student pressed yes button in confirmation box. If the student pressed yes button in the confirmation box, then here we will destroy dashboard frame, and then we will switch welcome page. And also here I will update root window, because sometime root window may not show changes. Here student dashboard will destroy and then here welcome page will display. Now let's add this function to logout button. Here is logout button. Before run this code, I need to open student dashboard to another student ID number. Because recently we have deleted a student account, which we were using before. Now this ID number is not valid, because we have deleted this ID number student account. If I will open student dashboard with this ID number, then error will occurs. Here you can see. Now we will use another student account ID number for open student dashboard. Now I will open student dashboard manually by entering ID number and password in login page. Now let's test logout functionality. Here you can see, confirmation box appear. Here I will click yes button. You can see I am redirected to welcome page. Let's see example again. We have created logout functionality. Now press subscribe button, if you have not subscribed Tkinter Hub. Finally we have completed student dashboard. Congratulations to everybody. We have created student dashboard all pages and functionalities, which can help the student to manage their account. And that's for this video. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe our channel for more videos.